Welcome back, friends. All right, so this week is National Nurses Week. We are celebrating all the nurses out there who are watching as well. So we want to tell you about Goodwill's Nurse Family Partnership Program.
And to talk more about this, we're joined by our friend Rochelle, the director of the Nurse Family Partnership for Goodwill Industries of Michiana. Rochelle, thank you for being here.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. This is great. First off, for all the nurses out there, we thank you. And when we heard about this program, we were glad to have you on. Talk about the Nurse Family Partnership. What is that all about?
Yeah, so Nurse Family Partnership is an evidence-based program that started after some randomized clinical trials back in the late 1970s.
Wow.
And after those trials were done, they did 3 across the country. Once they were done, they really found that pairing first-time parents with a registered nurse during pregnancy provided the best outcomes for those parents. And so, yeah, it's just been growing since then.
And again, this is for first-time parents. I'm thinking Mother's Day's this weekend. If you know someone who's pregnant, there are a little bit of requirements, right, for people who can sign up?
Right, so they have to be a first-time parent. Okay. And what that means is not necessarily first pregnancy. So if somebody's had a miscarriage in the past or a stillborn, or for whatever reason they lost custody of their child within the first 30 days, those are still families that we could potentially serve. They also have to be low income, and they have to live within our service area. In the state of Indiana, that's really easy now. Our territory with Goodwill, Michiana has expanded in the last year and a half from 4 counties to 15.
How exciting.
Here in northern Indiana.
That's
yeah,
exciting. Very
exciting. But the state really recognized the value of the program, and it's now in all 92 counties in Indiana.
Amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear about this program, but it's not a clinical setting, right? Tell us about that. Yeah. These are nurses who come to the home themselves, right?
It is, yeah. So our nurses are paired one-on-one with the client, and they're visiting in the home, and that could be whatever it looks like for that particular client. So maybe they're living with somebody else and that person doesn't want visitors in their home.
Sure.
We can meet at a park, we can meet at Starbucks, McDonald's, wherever that client wants to meet, with the goal of hopefully eventually getting into the home, because ultimately that's where the client's going to be the most comfortable, and we're going to be able to provide the best assessments of environment, how mom and baby are doing, and really provide the best support.
Yeah, what is the goal here? Just to ensure that everyone is healthy and happy?
That's one of the big overarching goals, absolutely. So Indiana is one of the worst in the country for maternal and infant mortality rates.
Wow.
So trying to reduce those rates, trying to promote economic self-sufficiency.
And equitability too at the same time, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So our nurses work with these families to set goals that are attainable, and support them through that process. Also connect them to community resources to make sure that everybody in the household is doing well, because if the whole household is doing well, then that baby is going to thrive as well.
We know first-time moms, it's a big transition, big transition.
Absolutely.
What is the cost of this?
There is absolutely no cost to our clients.
Okay, this is good news for a lot of people who are considering that. We'll talk about where you can go to get some information on this in a second. Yeah. What are you hearing? I want to step back away from the press release talk and the jargon. What do you hear? Just being a part of this program, in charge of this program, from the parents, those who so appreciate you guys. What are some of the stories that you hear from these first-time parents?
Yeah, I'm in a unique position that I actually started with this program as a nurse home visitor.
Wow.
And I've been a supervisor and just recently promoted.
So you know firsthand.
Yeah, so I've had that ability to sit with these clients, and they're just so appreciative of the support.
Yeah.
We come at this from the perspective of the client as the expert. So while our nurses may see, oh, you don't have a diploma or you don't have a job, that may not be the client's #1 priority. Maybe they're trying to figure out how they're going to feed their family today, or how they're going to keep a roof over their head. And so really leaning into the client as the expert, and what support they need, and to see the outcomes at the end, hear the stories, and see where the clients are when they hit graduation at 2 years old
that's
is
great.
awesome.
And I
It's cute,
imagine,
yeah.
I mean, just even to have someone to talk to, right? And it must create a bond with you and the moms and the babies, I imagine, right?
Absolutely. The whole program is about building those trusting relationships. So from day one, we know a lot of our clients have experienced some kind of trauma.
Absolutely.
And so working to build those trusting relationships, which don't come overnight. And so that's the beauty of the fact that we have 2.5 years to spend with these clients.
That is amazing support. How can people, both nurses and potentially those who are trying to become nurses, want to be a part of this program, and those who can benefit from this program, how can they learn more information about it?
Yeah, so they can go to nfpmoms.org or give us a call at 1-833-879-BABY or 2229.
We'll put all this information on our website just in case you didn't get to write that down.
Yeah, Rochelle, thank you so much for all that
Really
you do,
important.
and those who work in part of your program as well. Tell them thank you, because you guys are helping so many families here in Michiana. It means a lot.
Definitely a blessing to be able to do what we do.
Well,
That's
thank
great.
you for sharing it today.
All right, we'll be right back with more news after this. Stay there.